Hey, good evening and happy 2023 to everyone representing USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most, misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you're rocking and hanging out with the 225th episode of Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York podcast. We're live and direct with a jam-packing show for you today with new topics coming up. Live and direct from StreamYard, YouTube, and alongside of myself is the Instagram live feed. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you can be in the know on when each episode is going to be dropping. I did drop episode 224 yesterday. 225 will be dropped off tomorrow. So, and speaking of drop-offs, though, speaking of drop-offs, if you are new to the channel and you missed any previous episodes whatsoever, don't worry, I got your back on where you could catch up at the end of the show. But in the meantime, go grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555, where you see all the New York episodes already uploaded and posted to the YouTube channel page. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics that's being discussed. And of course, click on the Noni bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, along with the time and reminder of when the live stream is going to start. Stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes, and of course, be sure to share the episodes, share the videos, download these episodes, listen, stream, watch the episodes in case you miss any of them whatsoever. And yeah, I'll handle the rest on where you can listen to the episodes at the end of the show and the episode. Now, excuse me. Now, another thing, before I start the segment is you're more than welcome to make a charitable donation to support this podcast right here. I'm gonna actually pull up the Cash App right now. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up right now. Okay. Yes, this is my Cash App right here, man, where you can actually support the podcast that I'm doing, the multiple podcast shows that I'm doing. My Cash App is $ capital G, lowercase MONEY, capital S, lowercase TACKZ 555. You don't need to be from a rich family to actually show more support. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you are comfortable with that you desire will be appreciated. So that's Cash App, $ G Money Stacks 555 right there. All right, so we got it. I'm gonna cut to the chase. We're gonna get into a little thing that I like to call hang on a second. Yes, here it is. We're gonna get into the New York Mass Transit files right here, man. Let's do this. Okay. Now, MTA is finally opening up the restrooms in the train stations. Listen to this, folks. That sounds like great news to me right here. Let's get into it right here. So, this is according to amny.com. This is one of the websites I'm going to be using where I get my topics. So, the MTA will reopen bathrooms at 9 subway stations on Monday. The agency announced bringing relief to riders forced to hold it in for years of closures. At least one station in each borough will see its restrooms open once more for the first time since the onset of the COVID-19 slamdemic. And in interim, the hubs for business doing were outfitted with new paint jobs, grouting and lighting, plus motion activated faucets and hand dryers. The male and female restrooms at the 9 stations, however, will be open half the day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The MTA says with a 1 hour closure from noon to 1 p.m. for cleaning. The slamdemic created many challenges to providing faster, cleaner, safer service in the transit system, said NYC Transit President Richard Davey in a statement. But as ridership continues to rebound, we're pleased to provide relief to customers by reopening some bathrooms across the transit system. When customers have got to go on the go, we've now got them covered at select stations. The move comes just over 2 months after the MTA revealed it reopened some bathrooms for public use. Yes. More than 2 years after the MTA closed all 133 bathrooms at 69 of its stations, um, ostensibly to curb the spread of COVID-19. As the city and transit system recovered from COVID, MTA honchos did not see bathroom restoration as a priority, preferring to focus on the trains and buses. But politics and budgets can't compete with the call of nature, and the bathrooms closure in a city desperately lacking in public loos meant problems downstream. The MTA is now exploring using tech that can detect when an elevator is used as a urinal. Oh gosh. Really? Okay, so shuttering subway bathrooms also meant one fewer place of relief for New York's homeless population. Bathrooms will reopen at the following stations. Listen to the following stations, folks. Yes, listen to the following stations. That's included. So, all right. So the bathrooms will reopen at the following stations, which includes the Bronx, 161st Street, Yankee Stadium, the B and the D, East 180th Street, the 2 and the 5, Brooklyn, J Street, Metro Tech, ACF, Kings Highway, B, and the Q. Manhattan, 14th Street, Union Square, 456, Fulton Street, AC, 42nd Street, Bryant Park, BDFM. And for Queens, Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, EFMR, Forest Hills, 71st Avenue. All right. That's the list of stations that's going to have some open bathrooms. Now, I'm not too sure about Jamaica Center and the other stations, but um, we'll have to wait and find out. All right, up next, another issue that we have to talk about here in transit has to do with the BQE. Yes, the BQE's crumbling cantilever. Oh wow. The city's Department of Transportation has stalled on its commitment to implement sensors on the crumbling Brooklyn Queens Expressway intended to fine owners of overweight trucks. A group of Brooklyn elected officials charged on Wednesday. The six local pals, no, excuse me, local polls say the DOT looks set to blow an anticipated working deadline of this month to install weigh in motion sensors on the BQE city owned triple cantilever section in Brooklyn Heights, which would detect and automatically levy a $650 fine to owners of illegally overweight trucks making the joint on the rapidly deteriorating Robert Moses era highway. Hmm. After a year of anticipating a January 2023 rollout of WIM and being told by DOT that the program was on schedule, we were just informed that DOT has not yet completed the sensor installation. Um, reads the statement signed by Congress members Dan Goldman and Nadia Velasquez, state senators Andrew um, Gennades and Brian Kavanaugh, Assembly member Joe Ann Simon, and City Council member Lincoln Wrestler. End quote. Hold on. As we embark on what will undoubtedly be a long and complicated process to improve and reimagine the entire BQE corridor, they continued. We want the public to know that we are deeply concerned about this delay and we are doing everything we can to keep communities safe. Legally, trucks traveling along the triple cantilever cannot weigh more than 40 tons or 80,000 pounds. But an analysis by an expert panel convened under former Mayor Bill de Blasio found about 11.1% of trucks using the highway haul loads exceeded that limit, with some, especially corpulent lorries, packing as much as 170,000 pounds. That poses major problems for the crumbling triple cantilever, which the same expert panel warned could become unsafe to use as early as 2026. That's 3 years from now, folks. Barring major repair or replacement work, strict vehicle weight limits, or even an outright ban on truck traffic. High, higher live loads cause greater stress on the structure, shorten its life, decrease reliability, and reduce the safety factor, the experts wrote. Transit honchos had promised the technology's implementation on the cantilever by this month. The the elected the elected charge, but they now say WIM has not yet passed muster with federal calibration standards, meaning regulators aren't confident the technology will work as advertised and dole out tickets only for legit offenses. DOT spokesperson Vin Barone said the WIM sensors are already in place on the cantilever, but can't be turned on to begin enforcement until they can be properly calibrated. As the Adams administration develops concepts for a long-term fix for BQE Central, DOT is rigorously monitoring the triple cantilever and making interim repairs as needed to ensure it remains structurally sound, said Barone. We have installed weighting motion sensors along BQE sensors and are working through remaining internal and external administrative processes to launch what will be a first in the nation enforcement program against overweight trucks. In the meantime, DOT wants to assure the public that the cantilever is at no immediate risk of collapse. Nevertheless, the electeds say that WIM installation should be an immediate priority. Given the potential doomsday scenario, the should the geriatric structure tumble down. NYC DOT needs to expeditiously work to get WIM in place and immediately accelerate investments to preserve this faltering structure before it is too late, said the polls. This includes safety and remedial measures that the city committed to taking, but has since postponed, since such as waterproofing roadway joints on the cantilever. In his waning days as mayor, de Blasio opted to cut the number of travel lanes in each direction from 3 to 2, which he posited would relieve pressure on the roadway and extend its useful life for up to 20 years, but punted on longer term plans to address the structure's sustainability to his successor, Eric Adams. Last month, Adams rolled out a suite of potential options for the highway's future, which would involve either partial or total rebuilds of the cantilevers, retaining wall, and partially cover the unsightly artery, using that coverage to connect green spaces on the Brooklyn Heights promenade above the BQE and Brooklyn Bridge part below. The proposals are currently snaking through the community engagement process, but his zoner said a final plan should be selected by this spring, just in time to apply for federal infrastructure grant money. The tentative plans have been flanked by criticism, though, including from the same local elected officials who took particular umbrage at the potential move to restore a third lane in each direction on the cantilever, even if only for high occupancy vehicles or buses. The electeds have been joined by an eclectic. Hold on. Yes, an eclectic consortium of safe streets advocates, local civic groups, and even industrial titans in calling for bolder plans up to and including tearing the highway down and reimagining the corridor. Yeah, Okay, let's see. What else do we got to talk about here? All right, we got some stuff to talk about here, man. Let's get to chatting on the jazz right here, man. Let's do this. All right. All right. Now, I didn't get a chance to get to certain topics in episode 224 yesterday night because um because of time. So here's what's going down here, man. We're gonna get into all right. All right. We're gonna get into the culprit who tried to attack Dave Chappelle. Now, hold on. Now let's get into it though. The man charged with attacking Dave Chappelle on stage at the Hollywood Bowl just got sentenced to 9 months behind bars after taking a plea deal with prosecutors. Dave's attacker, 24-year-old Isaiah Lee, was sentenced Thursday to 270 days in Los Angeles County Jail after pleading no contest to a pair of misdemeanor counts, entering a restricted area during a live event and battery, according to the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office. Yeah. As we reported, Lee ran on stage in the middle of Dave's May 3rd performance at the Hollywood Bowl, evading security and tackling Chappelle to the ground. After taking Dave to the ground, Lee ran off the stage, catching an epic beatdown before being arrested. Not a good thing. It was discovered Lee was carrying a replica gun with a knife blade during the incident, and LA County DA George Gascon took a ton of heat for refusing to charge Lee with a felony. Instead, the LA City attorney ultimately charged him with 4 misdemeanors. We're told the weapon will now be destroyed. Remember, in a jailhouse interview with the New York Post in the weeks following the attack. Hold on. Yeah, following the attack. Um following the attack, Lee said he was bisexual and claimed he was triggered by Dave's LGBT jokes. In addition to his jail sentence for the Chappelle attack, Lee is facing an attempted murder charge for a separate incident where he's accused of stabbing his roommate. Oh boy. That's terrible right here, man. That's really terrible. Let's see. What else can we talk about here? What else can we talk about here? What else can we talk? Oh, Equinox is also in hot water too. Equinox is also in hot water too. Um, let's see. Where's Equinox? Oh boy. Equinox is in hot water right here. Let's get into it. Mm. Okay. So according to TMZ.com, fitness company Equinox is catching heat online after launching a day-long campaign to lock out newcomers, blasting that all too common New Year's resolution: hit the gym and then quickly give up. Those looking to start 2023 off with a bang would have been met with a message to stop you in your tracks. That is, if you try getting an Equinox membership because the company's "We Don't Speak January" campaign was plastered all over its site. And the statement goes like this: "We don't speak January. We're not accepting new members today. It's not you, it's January. January is a fantasy delivered to your door in a pastel colored box. It talks about change. It needs a new outfit before it can begin. Shortcutting, giving up just a few weeks later. You are not a New Year's resolution. Your life doesn't start at the beginning of the year, and that's not what being part of Equinox is about. We go beyond what's possible. We defy expectations. We are not moderation. We want it all every day, and you deserve it all. At Equinox, we don't speak January, and neither do you. We look forward to welcoming you to our Equinox community tomorrow. Oh wow. Okay, so we just read the letter that's being said. This right here is so fucked. It's so fucked up right here, man. So the company says life doesn't start at the beginning of the year, and neither does Equinox. Apparently, an interesting concept, but one that was met with negativity online. One potential client called the campaign super cringe and pointless, and another said, "I hate Equinox for many reasons, but this is definitely a new low." The point of the campaign was to drive dedication to the brand, according to Brian Collins, who worked on the concept as a way to snub short term resolutions. Clearly a polarizing ad campaign, but hey, it ain't January 1st anymore, so get that sweat on. I get that you're trying to make money and shit, but I think you're going about it the wrong way, in the wrong places. And I and I feel like, yo, seriously, I feel like this is all wrong because, like, I feel like you're trying to discourage people into not being able to go by their New Year's resolutions. I mean, some people have New Year's resolutions, but it may not work for everybody. But this is just crazy, man. This is fucking crazy what Equinox is doing, man. But they need to change their tune before they lose a lot of members going to Equinox, man. That's all I gotta say on that one right there, though. That right there, that's whack, man. That's whack. Okay. Shouts to Janita Cuts. Um, yeah. All right, so let's get into another topic that I didn't get a chance to get into. So, yeah, so Equinox is one of them. We're gonna get into um. All right, um. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to go over the transit stories of 2022. Let's um I was supposed to be in transit news files, so that's I forgot. Um while continuing to recover from the COVID-19 slamdemic, New York's sprawling transit system experienced plenty of upheaval in 2022, from new leadership at the MTA to the prospect of a painful fare hike to close a glaring budget gap, which really kind of sucks, though, man. If you ask me, a lot has happened this year, so stand clear of the closing doors as we look back at some of 2022's biggest transportation stories. Starting with January, the new year got off to a busy start as Mayor Eric Adams kicked off his tenure at City Hall with a surge of police presence and homeless outreach in the subway system. Ahead of the first of many headline-grabbing crimes underground, the death of Michelle Go, who was pushed onto the subway tracks by a disturbed stranger. Of course, Governor Kathy Hochul nominated Jenna Lieber as her choice to lead the MTA. He would ultimately be confirmed with the slamdemic still in full force. The governor and her new transit boss pledged not to hike transit fares in 2022, while in her state of the state address, Hochul proposed a brand new mass transit line called the Interborough Express, running on underutilized freight rail between Brooklyn and Queens to fulfill a long-time dream of rail fans. January also saw the retirement of the R32 Brightliners from the subway's rolling stock. After 58 years in service, the longest tenure for any subway cars in history and among the longest in any mass transit system on Earth. The month concluded with the opening of LaGuardia Airport's new $4 billion Terminal B, which was followed by Terminal C a few months later. Sorry about that. February saw the city's Department of Transportation propose new guidelines for a permanent outdoor dining program, which would shed the city of curbside restaurant sheds. Negotiations over the permanent program remain ongoing intense. DOT also made a number of pledges early in 2022 for the first year of the Adams administration, um, including to fortify 100 miles of bike lanes and make 1,000 dangerous intersections safer. Um, the second month also saw the MTA commit to piloting platform doors at subway stations following Go's death. The agency bookended February by launching a new fare capping program providing free rides to Omni users after 12 swipes per week. In March, the MTA onboarded a new head honcho for the city's subways and buses as Richard Davey became head of New York City Transit. Davey, who joined the MTA after a stint of Massachusetts Transportation Secretary, has frequently spoken of better customer service as his North Star. Davies' appointment came as more and more strap hangers began shedding their masks on the train, and even as the MTA formally kept its mask mandate in place. At the end of the month, AM New York Metro was the first to report details on the new draft redesign proposal for the bus map in Queens. April. Transit news in April was dominated by public safety concerns as the system faced perhaps 2022's most notorious transit crime. The April 12th mass shooting aboard a crowded rush hour N train in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, that left 29 strap hangers injured. At a 30-hour manhunt, police arrested and charged Frank James with the crime, for which he remains the sole suspect. Facing a federal terrorism indictment, James ultimately opted to plead guilty to the crime. Before that, with gas prices surging and drivers feeling pain at the pump, the New York State budget included a holiday on gas taxes, a move transit advocates criticized as robbing the transit system of much needed revenue to give drivers a financial break. May began with the full return of the five borough bike tour and ended with the rebranding of long stalled East Side Access Project as Grand Central Madison, with eyes toward opening the project at the end of 2022. In the interim, the city was once again on edge after Goldman Sachs trader Daniel Enriquez was brutally shot and killed on a Q train heading over the Manhattan Bridge. The suspect, Andrew Abdullah, was arrested after attempting to turn himself in with the help of Bling Bishop Lamar Whitehead. The NYPD also faced pushback from advocates after cuffing a fruit vendor at Broadway Junction. The state assembly and Senate approved a program in June to turn on New York City's speed cameras 24/7 for the first time around the same time the shiny new Terminal C opened at LaGuardia Airport. The dominoes kept falling for masking on the train this month, and the MTA settled a pair of major lawsuits from disability advocates, agreeing to make 95% of its subway stations compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act by 2025. That's a long ass time. July was a tough month for the NYC ferry, with City Comptroller Brad Lander releasing a bombshell report showing the city had nearly $250 million in costs for the waterborne transit system. Just days later, Mayor Adams announced the fare for a ferry ride would bump up from $2.75 to $4. More dominoes fell for the transit mask mandate as the MTA started removing the iconic slamdemic era yellow signs urging riders to stop the spread, while the MTA began more urgently warning lawmakers of an impending fiscal cliff with stagnant ridership and receding federal COVID aid. Meanwhile, Governor Hochul's massive Penn Station project cleared key procedural hurdles, and the MTA promised to roll out cellular service in underground subway tunnels and Wi-Fi at above ground stations. August began with the city for the first time turning on its speed cameras 24/7 at the permanent program was approved by the legislature. Later in the month, the MTA sought for the first time to entirely ban someone from the transit system, hoping a man accused of assaulting a station cleaner would get booted from subways, buses, and commuter rails. The big news this month was the MTA finally releasing a range of potential tolls to be levied on drivers once New York finally implements congestion pricing in Manhattan's Central Business District. The controversial program approved in 2019 but bogged down by numerous procedural obstacles could make motorists fork over up to $23 per crossing if they wish to drive into Manhattan. It finally happened in September. The MTA ended its mask mandate on transit, closing one of the last vestiges of COVID-19 era mandates and restrictions. The agency sustained significant backlash for a campaign telling riders it was okay to just do you. However, you want to wear a mask or lack thereof. That came as honchos altered their estimates for the Gateway Tunnel boondoggle, forecasting it won't be done till 2038 at a cost of $16 billion. Yeah, $16 billion. Busy September also saw construction start on JFK Airport's new Terminal 1. The MTA piloting space for strollers on its buses, and the city reaching a deal with a major lender to restructure cabbie medallion debt. The MTA promised to install surveillance cameras on every train car, evoking the watchful eye of Big Brother. While Council Speaker Adrian Adams threw shade on the city's outdoor dining program, making it known her preference for parking over curbside sheds as the council deliberated over the program's fate. October was one of the transit system's grisliest months in memory, with three high-profile murders, bringing homicides underground to 9, the most in at least 25 years. Numerous other high-profile assaults, robberies, and other crimes ultimately led the city and state to announce a surge of cops in the system, aiming to establish omnipresence and deter would-be wrongdoers. Crimes declined the following month, but so did arrests, including the fare evasion. On the surface, Mayor Adams announced the city had exceeded its goal of making 1,000 dangerous intersections safer by the end of 2022, though the following month, the intersection where he made the original pledge saw a pedestrian die in a hit and run. The MTA, facing a severe cash crunch, proposed a budget calling for major cost cutting and fare increases, which could bring the price of a subway or bus ride above $3 for the first time. Hmm. Yeah, that's for November. Um, the agency is set to vote on the final budget in December, which already happened. The Taxi and Limousine Commission voted in November to provide yellow cab drivers with their first rate hike in a decade. The TLC also voted to lift compensation for rideshare drivers, though Uber is suing to stop it and has halted the raids for now. And finally, um, another recap in 2022 of transit news is December kicked off with the MTA unveiling a draft plan to redesign bus routes in Brooklyn and opening up Fifth Avenue to pedestrians for holiday weekends. to smashing success. The mayor proposed a controversial new plan for the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, and alleged subway shooter Frank James pled guilty to terrorism charges. The year is ending without the promised opening of the new Grand Central Madison Terminal, which should be expected early in 2023. And with the MTA voting to approve a fare hike, the exact amount of which is still to be determined. Of course, you can stay tuned with AM New York Metro in the new year to see how these and other stories play out. I will keep track on the whole fare hike shit though, man, so I can let y'all know what's gonna go down. All right. Um, I'll let y'all know. Let's see. Let's see. Paper Route Empire. Let's do that one. Oh, yeah. Okay, Paper Route. Okay, here it is. All right. The state of Young Dolph, the late great Young Dolph, has announced Dolphland, a touring pop-up museum honoring the late rapper across the U.S. early next year. Dolphland was created in partnership with Young Dolph's estate, his former label Paper Route Empire, and the Atlanta-based Trap Music Museum. According to a press release, the pop-up museum will display original curated art and personal items that reflect Young Dolph's unforgettable lyricism, personality, entrepreneurial spirit, philanthropy, and historic moments from his legendary career. Um, Dolphland's first exi- exhibition will take place in New York City from January the 13th to the 15th. From there, the pop up museum will tour a number of cities across the U.S., will stop slated for Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, and Dallas. Fans will be able to purchase exclusive merchandise only available at the museum tour. Tickets to the New York City edition available next Monday, which already happened 2 weeks ago. Um, already happened. Let me get that out of there. What else? In a press statement, Dolph's manager Alan Parks explained Dolph's has a great base of fans and he loved going out and engaging with them. We wanted to do something that still provided a way for that engagement beyond just the music. Paper Route Empire CEO Daddy O added that the museum will showcase Dolph's character of a leader and businessman. The touring museum is the latest way Dolph's legacy will be honored following the tragic murder at age 36 in Memphis, Tennessee. Earlier this month, Paper Route Empire released Dolph's first posthumous album, Paper Route Frank, featuring guest appearances from Gucci Mane, 2 Chainz, and Key Glock. Dolph was said to have been close to finishing the album, his ninth overall, and following up to 2020's Rich Slave just prior to his murder. 2 persons of interest were named in Dolph's murder investigation in early 2022, with a March autopsy revealing he'd been shot 22 times. A third suspect was indicted last month. The investigation is ongoing. Oh boy. Well, let's see. Okay, what else can we talk about here? Um all right. Okay, so Bow Wow is calling cap on JD on creating 106 in Park. All right. So yeah, yo, yeah, he really calling cap on that shit though, man. Listen to this. There was once a there was once a time in pop culture when rapper and actor Shad Moss, aka Bow Wow, was nicknamed after the hit BET show 106 in Park. Having his songs consistently make the top 10 countdown on the music video show, he began calling himself Mr. 106 in Park. Denouncing anyone's credit for the show or his nickname besides BET staff, Bow has recently debunked Jermaine Dupri's claim that he created 106 in Park tailored for his social deaf signee and friend to compete with MTV's TRL. Yeah, Bow Wow has a right to start calling cap on JD, man. Stop lying. While interviewing with the Goats and Underdogs podcast last week, JD revealed that it was him that brought forth the idea of an urban music video countdown show to BET's former head of programming, Stephen G. Hill. With Bow Wow in mind, JD wanted to highlight black artists who were not receiving the same acknowledgement from TRL as other artists in other genres. 106 Apart was created by me, Jermaine Dupri, confidently claimed. I created the show for Bow Wow. I was watching MTV and MTV had TRL. They were catering to NSYNC and they were catering to Backstreet Boys and anything white that was coming out that was pop. They was allowing these kids to scream and holler at them. And I was like, yo, we don't have nothing for black people like that. Like, where's the black kids that love music? Why don't they have a show like that? He added, so I called Stephen Hill and I said, yo, I got an artist. We need to make a show just like TRL. And he said, what's the artist? And I said, Bow Wow. Everybody challenges what I'm saying. Mind you, they wasn't gonna put Bow Wow on TRL like that because he was a rapper. He was a black little young boy rapping, but he also was 12 years old. Nobody on TV was 12 years old anywhere creating this type of pandemonium. Bow Wow took to Twitter on Sunday. Hold on. Yes, on Sunday, December 17th, to dispute the music execs 106 in Park claims. JD ain't create 106 in Park. Stop the cap, Bow said. Stephen Hill, Rick Grimes, and all the great people in the BT office and staff created that show. All I did was capitalize off of what they created and made it mine. I would know. I am Mr. 106. I would never take away from someone's creativity. And yes, yes, man. Wow. Oh shit. Okay, there's more to the story. He followed up responding to a fan with, I ain't even do nothing. I said it was a lie. Stephen Hill even came out and said it was a lie. Ha ha ha. How is that rude? Now lying and taking credit is cruel. Come on, bro. The Brat, a longtime artist under the social death umbrella, also chimed in to let Bow Wow know that he shouldn't be discrediting her brother, who he called his dad for many years. However, this wouldn't be the first time Bow said something to downplay what JD did for his career. Man, what the fuck? I really don't have time or patience for this shit, but I got both today. The Brat started. Bow Wow, I can't let you do is discredit my big brother JD, who you called your dad for so many years, because that is pretty much the role you gave him. And instead of saying hell no, he rocked with you. She went on and quote, "You are being so rude and disrespectful to the person who believed in you, nurtured you, made you a complete star, wrote all your hits, accepted the challenge when Snoop brought you to him. He was he has hold on. He has never done anything to you but help. I ain't I ain't finna let you drag the most non-confrontational person who loved, cared for you, and spoiled your ass for years." Backing JD's claim and also countering Bow's statement about Stephen Hill and BET creating the show, the "What You Like" rapper added, he isn't and never would discredit BET execs. He discussed creating 106 before it was created so black people could have their own TRL. No cap. If this is what you want to do, let's fucking go. Pull up, little nigga, with your disrespectful ass. So ungrateful. Um, the hit BET show was originally hosted by AJ Calloway and and Marie Free Wright, beginning in September 2000. Bow would co-host the show 12 years later. Other celebrities who have moderated the show are Terrence J and Roxy Diaz, Jaleesa Bermudez and Big Tigger, and Keisha Shante, amongst other temporary co-hosts. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, man. They don't call him Mister 106 in part for nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't call him that for nothing though. He got that nickname because Bow Wow had some number one songs that was on 106 in Park, and I seen every single one. I seen every single one of them too. So yeah. Oh man. So yeah. Good for the guy for calling out Cap. What else can we talk about here that's on the agenda? Oh yeah, 50 Cent. Yo, 50 Cent is, oh my gosh, man. Troll is an understatement, man. Troll is an understatement, man. So here's what's going on here, according to Double XL. The Tory Lanez trial has been the most talked about event on social media this past week. Over the weekend, 50 Cent decided to chime in with his thoughts about the trial. On Saturday, December 17th, 50 Cent jumped on his Instagram account and posted a meme featuring Megan Thee Stallion changing into Jussie Smollett. Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah. The television powerhouse used a morphing meme to show the Houston rhymer transforming into the former Empire actor to possibly show his confusion with the Tory Lanez trial. Wow, that's funny. Damn, I'm confused. All this shit going around, man. Shrugging shoulders emoji. Fifth wrote in the caption, I don't know what to think. 50 Cent may be referring to Megan Thee Stallion's emotional testimony at trial that featured her recalling how she was shot by Tory Lanez during their altercation in July of 2020. Meanwhile, her former friend Kelsey Nicole Harris, who initially told investigators in the recorded interview that she saw Tory shoot Megan, took the stand the following day and refused to identify the Canadian rapper as the shooter. As for the Jussie Smollett comparison, back in March of 2022, the 40-year-old thespian was sentenced to 5 months in prison for faking a hate crime. The punishment stems from his conviction at a 2021 at a December 2021 trial for on 5 out of 6 charges of disorderly conduct at a class 4 felony. Chicago prosecutors accused Jussie of lying about his January 2019 attack, where 2 men put a noose around his neck, poured a chemical substance on him, and yelled, "This is MAGA country." Subsequently, Chicago police performed an investigation, racking up 1,000 hours of overtime, only to conclude that Jussie paid 2 brothers, Abimbola and Alabinjo, $3,500 to stage the attack. Some of 50 Cent's followers didn't like the New York rhymer poking fun at Megan during her incredibly stressful legal ordeal. Hold on. Allowing that man, Tory, to remain innocent until proven guilty while attacking and calling her a liar by mostly men is crazy and sad. Shaking my head, wrote one person said. Ha! Should be Kelsey in the pic, but okay. Typed another fan. Referring to Megan's former friend Kelsey Harris, who refused to answer questions about Tory's actions on the night of the shooting at trial, despite being granted immunity by the prosecutors. Another commenter felt there was no correlation between Megan's traumatic altercation to Jussie's now questionable hate crime incident in Chicago, but she was really shot, the person wrote. The comparison is not valid. Yeah. 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 This one's a little. I may talk about the part where Tory Lanez is getting sentenced anyway in a future episode. So you're going to have to wait for that one right there. You're going to have to wait for that one right there. Um, yeah, you're going to have to wait for that one right there. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, all right, let's talk Rick Ross, man. That's another topic I didn't get a chance to talk about here. That's another topic I didn't get a chance to talk about here. Let's talk Rick Ross, man. Um Hold on a second. All right. All right, let's get into it. All right, and this is according to Complex. All right. So Rick Ross continues living his best life. Rose took to social media on Thursday to reveal a new piece of furniture he's added to his South Florida mega mansion. In a clip shared on Instagram, the Miami rapper showed off a custom made table that was created from uh, hold on, a 757 airplane engine which still spins. And he said, in quote, I just made my table delivered. Been waiting for this a long time. Guess what I did? Ross said in the video, this is my amazing brunch area. I bought a motor from a 757 airliner. That's right, an airplane. A 757 airliner had the blades polished, had the lights inserted. I can change the lights any color I want to. Had the tabletop, the top glass cut. This is custom. This is a Ricky Rose customation. And this brunch area is just for enjoying the finest spirits. And he said, DM me if you want to know how much I spent on this. He said at the end, Rose's table isn't the first eyebrow raising purchase he made this year. Back in March, Ross added 2 buffaloes to his ever growing ranch, which also includes 4 horses and a bull. Wow. This is something real personal, he said in his Instagram video at the time. This is something that means a lot to me. And this is what I need you to know. I'm the new proud owner of 2 buffaloes. A month later, the double MG boss outdid himself by ordering a camouflage military tank, which he later unveiled at his car and bike show at the Promised Land in um, Fayetteville, Georgia. The armored vehicle featured artillery, a custom camo paint job, and Louis Vuitton leather seat covers. Oh, wow. 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 Man, let me tell you something, man. I gotta say, man, that's pretty lit though, man. I'm gonna make some noise for this shit. Yeah. I'm not listen, if you work hard for your money, right? You should be able to treat yourself to some things, man. You know what I'm saying? You should not be fucking questioning about any of this shit though. You shouldn't, because whether certain people like it or not, you should be able to treat yourself. It doesn't matter if you're rich or not though, man. You should be able to buy whatever you like. That's my take on that shit though. So there you have it right there, man. Oh man. That that's not a bad idea though, man, if you really think about it though. That's not a bad idea. Um let me see. There are any producers? I saw some
Oh yeah, hip hop producers. Let's get it. We're gonna get into it right about now. Hip hop producers, and then we'll get into a year in fashion 2022 edition, and some stuff to do for the weekend. And we'll get to the movie that's still number one in the box office. So let's get into it. All right, so let's go to um we're, we're gonna go to hip hop producers of 2022. Hold on one second. I need to do something. All right, sorry about that, folks. I had to drop off an episode of my sports podcast before it hits midnight. So anyway, here is the best producers of 2022. Let's go over this. So 2022, according to double xlmag.com, was a healthy year for music. Big dogs like Drake and Kendrick Lamar reminded folks of their artistic dominate. No, excuse me, dominions. Dominions, excuse me. Lyricists like Jid, Smino, and Saba came through in the name of substance. New Atlanta popped out with new efforts from Gunna, Little Baby, and a storied string of boss moves from 21 Savage, and a new blood from Glorilla. To Yeet claim their territory in hip hop as well. There was truly something for everybody. So now that the curtains are closing on this year, it's time to salute the established producers who helped push the sounds and songs of these rappers forward, making their music all possible. On the note of mainstream looks, ATL Jacob cemented his name into the producer of the year convos thanks to his work on Future's multi-platinum selling lullaby Wait For You, featuring the sampling Thames and Drizzy. Metro Boomin released his own chart-topping album Heroes and Villains in the fourth quarter, which houses classics performance from The Weekend, Creepin', and the late great Takeoff, Feel the Fire. Elsewhere, Tay Keith was fired up over the last 12 months, contributing to several heat rocks, including Cardi B's Hot Shit with Lil Durk and Kanye West, as well as the OVO and Slaughter Gang link up on Jimmy Cooks. Outside of popular demand, there were a lot of producers who reigned in 2022 as silent assassins. For example, um, for example, Diald, who took care of the foundation on pensive records like Saber Still. Carl Banks got busy too. He helped usher in Top Dog Entertainment's new era by producing on a number of Dolce records like Persuasive, and then with a groove for Smino to dance through on Matinee. Plus, Beat Butcher chopped up some fire, most notably in the form of Benny the Butcher's 10 Crack Commandments and Chance the Rapper and Vic Mensa's Ref. There were also a number of hip hop scenes that stood out this year and are worth noting. SoundCloud's new wave can be attributed in part to producers like Bryce Unknown, who assisted on tracks like Soph Fago's Hell Yeah with Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely's Blitz. The Midwest hasn't stopped having motion, and producers like Haluva Beats have been holding their weight in making sure that the movement stays strong by making music with Babytron, Prince of the Mitten, and T Grizzly, Jay and Twan's series. And additionally, drill music has continued to prosper with more melodic elements to counter the staticky drum patterns. So shout out to Great John and records like Chef G's Listen for setting the tone in that regard. Elsewhere, OGs and Pharrell, Kanye West, and the Alchemist proved that they haven't lost a step. Hit Kid crafted arguably the biggest rap song of the year next to Big Glow before passing the baton to Macaroni. Macaroni Tony. Oh shit. Oh man, Macaroni Tony. That's a funny one right there, man. Hold on, that's a funny one right there. Oh man. Oh man, that's funny right there. Um that's the funniest shit I ever heard in my life though, man. All right, man. Oh man. I can't help it, man. This Macaroni Tony. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Macaroni Tony to do the same. His boy continued um his Hall of Fame run, um, as did Internet Money, who have been consistently paying it forward for years now. And it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop there. A lot of masters behind the boards are mentioned above, but there's plenty more to highlight. Check out Double XL's Best Producers of 2022. Yeah, as I mentioned, well, everything's already mentioned. Well, let's see. So the whole list of people that's already mentioned. Mitchell Boone. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the list, man. I'm not gonna go through the statements. Hold on a sec. All right, sorry about that, folks. I had to lower the volume because of the plane. Um, so here's a list of producers. So as I mentioned, so it's ATL Jacob, You have Hit Boy, Tay Keith, you have Hit Kid, Soundwave, Wheezy out of here. Damn. Oh shit. Um you have Carl Banks. Oh, Cal Banks, excuse me. Macaroni Tony. I can't get over that name. I can't get over that name though. Oh shit. Beat Butcher. Die High. Metro Boomin. Vinyls. You have Roger Shahade. Des Wright. Cardo. Turbo. Daoud. Taurus. Jahan Sweet. Boy Wonder. Murder Beats. TNT XD. Great John. Filthy. Chop Squad DJ. The Alchemist. TM88. Internet Money. OG Parker. FNZ. Charlie Handsome. You have Q Beats, Mbeza, Mustard, Bugs, The Beast, Pharrell, of course, obviously Kanye West, 40, Southside, Friday, Business Boy, Hitmaker, Jasper Harris, G-Rye, hold on. Yeah, Jasper Harris, G-Rye, Buddha Bless, OG Volta, Pierre Bourne, Haluva Beats. You have Forever Rolling, Bryce Unknown, DJ Durrell, Louis Bell, Ben 10K, DY Crazy, Synthetic, OZ. That's your producers of 2022 of hip hop. There you have it right there. Okay. All right, let me make sure I cover the bases. Oh wait. I said I was gonna do the fashion thing. Oh shoot. Oh man, come on. Don't do this to me. Okay, I was gonna do yes. A year in fashion 2022. Yes, I'm gonna do that one. A year in fashion. Here we go. Let me take a look and see how much time we got here. All right. Okay, this is according to Euronews.com right here, and this is pertaining to the fashion world of 2022. So here we go. So there's never a dull moment in fashion, and 2022 gave us plenty of gossip, viral moments, and head-turning outfits. After the disruption of the slamdemic, fashion was back in full swing, with the Met Gala returning to its traditional first Monday in May slot, and catwalk spectacles making a splash as digital presentations faded into the background. Euronews Culture takes you through the big fashion moments of the year, from the icons we mourned to celebrity controversies and the newly appointed creative directors that you need to know about in 2023. So, hitting headlines in 2022, whether you loved it or thought it was a reckless use of a valuable item, Kim Kardashian created one of the most memorable red carpet moments of all time when she wore Marilyn Monroe's dress at the Met Gala in May. The dress worn by Monroe when she when she sung "Happy Birthday" to President Kennedy is owned by Ripley's, who paid $4.81 million for it in 2016. Wow. The death of Queen Elizabeth II was one of the biggest news stories of the year, but it had a particular impact on British designers as it fell during the most important month in the fashion calendar. Designers including Burberry and Rafe Simmons canceled their London Fashion Week shows. Other Others showed their respect with a minute silence, while J.W. Anderson, Ardem, Richard Quinn, Daniel W. Fletcher, and S.S. Daly were among those who sent black ensembles, veils, and other mourning attire down the catwalk in dedication to the monarch. Possibly the most notable catwalk moment of the year, though, went to Bella Hadid at Coperni. During Paris Fashion Week in October, the supermodel closed the show by having a dress sprayed onto her live on stage. Of course, Kanye West, also known as Ye, was hardly out of the headlines in 2022, but controversy surrounding the rapper began to surge when he appeared in a White Lives Matter slogan t-shirt, which I previously talked about, along with the daughter of Lauryn Hill, slogan t-shirt at a surprise catwalk for his Yeezy label. The stunt resulted in walkouts from the show and angry online discourse from supporters of the Black Lives Matter movement. Ye went on to make numerous anti-Semitic remarks, which saw him drop from partnerships including Balenciaga and Adidas, which we previously talked about in episode 200. So if you haven't heard the companies that dropped them, you can go listen to episode 200 and 202, including the stunt that he tried to pull when he tried to go to Skechers. It didn't seem like 2022 would be the year fashion learned its lesson from working with contentious public figures, though. Only a month later, in November, Rihanna's fashion line Fenty sent Johnny Depp down the catwalk just months after the end of his courtroom battle with ex-wife Amber Heard. More welcome news came from outdoor apparel brand Patagonia, whose founder announced he would be transferring his ownership to a charitable trust that funds environmental initiatives. The business will generate dividends of approximately $100 million per year to tackle the climate crisis in the first of its kind move for a fashion business. Okay. Timothy Chalamet created another first for fashion in 2022. In September, he became the first man to appear solo on the cover of British Vogue. Chalamet described the photo shoot with Stephen Meisel as his favorite to date. As the year drew to a close, so did one of the industry's favorite designer labels. In November, Rafe Simmons stated he would be closing his own name label founded in 1995. The spring summer 2023 collection will be the last created by the by the brand, but the designer will continue his fashion career in his role as co-creative director of product. And of course, we lost some legends. The fashion world lost some of its much loved icons this year. In January, the former editor at large of American Vogue, Andre Leon Talley, passed away at age 73 after suffering complications from a heart attack and COVID 19. He was known for breaking barriers as an African American in fashion and for his flamboyant style and straight talking attitude, which made his appearances on America's Next Top Model popular meme fodder. Following his death, Talley's 2020 memoir, The Chiffon Trenches, re entered the book charts with the hardback version selling out. In the same month, the death of French fashion designer Terry hold on, Terry Mugler was announced. Known for futuristic gender bending haute couture, he dressed some of the most eclectic stars of the 70s and 80s, including Madonna, David Bowie, Grace Jones, and Michael Jackson. His Angel and Alien perfumes are also a huge part of his legacy and have remained consistently popular since they were launched in the 90s and 2000s. In August, the fashion world mourned the death of designer Issey um, Miyake, another trailblazer. He was part of a wave of Japanese designers who broke through on the fashion scenes during the 70s and 80s. His designs were notable for the simple colors but unusual silhouettes, many of them thanks to his signature pleating. Yeah. Okay, so we have creative directors who's in and who's out. So it was another exciting year of both designer debuts and bowing out from fashion's creative directors with a changing of the guard at Emilio Pucci, Etro, Hugo Boss, Missoni, Nina Ricci, Salvatore Ferragamo, Supreme, and Yeezy. The biggest surprise came from Alessandro Michel, who announced his departure from Gucci after 7 years. His tenure saw Michel go from a relative unknown outside of fashion's inner circle to a household name as he revived the fortunes of the historic brand. There were also changes at Burberry as British-born Daniel Lee, formerly at Bottega Veneta, was announced to replace Riccardo Tisci. At the Autumn-Winter 22 Milan Fashion Week, Matthew Blasey presented his first collection for Bottega Veneta with a focus on craftsmanship, art world inspirations, and use of the brand's signature leather in unexpected ways. Nigo, the founder of cult streetwear brand A Bathing Ape, debuted as creative. Don't ask me what that is though, but yeah, debuted as creative director for Kenzo in Paris the same season with his modern take on the brand's archive. All eyes were on the front row, though, which was filled with famous friends of the designer, including Ye, Tyler the Creator, Julia Fox, Pharrell, and Pusha T, who kept the brand trending throughout 2022. Burberry, Bottega, Veneta, and Kenzo will no doubt continue to be hot brands for 2023 as the new designers set out their creative visions for them. But the news everyone is waiting on in the new year is who will take over at Gucci. You can stay tuned to Euronews Culture next week for our look ahead to 2023 in fashion trends. Okay, let's see. All right, so so guess which movie is still number one in the box office? You want to know? Well, you're gonna have to. Well, you're gonna have to be here for. You're gonna have to be here for the segment right here that I like to call the movie Man Cave Popcorn. There we go. Yes, Avatar strikes again at the number one spot. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Um, and yes, so I'm gonna do from last week, and then the week. Actually, yeah, this is the week that Megan came out, but I'm not gonna get into it right off the bat. But um, so rising again on the all-time global box office chart, James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water has jumped into the number nine slot with um. Wait a second. Wait. Hold on a minute here. Wait a minute here. Wait, has jumped into the number nine slot with Thursday's grosses included. As presaged yesterday, it has overtaken the Avengers 1.521 billion dollars, now having surfed to nearly 1.50 $1.547 billion worldwide and getting there in 23 days of release. The Navi sequel from 20th Century Studios and Disney continues to stand as the number two international box office release of the Slandemic era with $0.075 billion through Thursday. It is closing in on the number one title of the past 3 years. Spider-Man No Way Home, of course, obviously, and will also shortly pass the pre-slandering gross of The Lion King overseas. Yes. Um Not a coincidence though, man, but I'm not gonna say that. The Thursday offshore take was $23.4 million in 52 markets, a 51% drop from last Thursday. On Friday, and not included in the totals above, China added an estimated $3.5 million for an estimated running $177 million QMA. The my the the Mayo yen prediction for a final total eased a bit to $216 million. Likewise, not included above Korea's Friday was $1.29 million for a running $81.3 million. The top 10 markets throughout Thursday are China, $171.5 million, France, $97 million, Germany, 79.9, excuse me, 79.5 million, Korea, $79.2 million, UK, $62.1 million, India, $52.4 million, Australia, $40.8 million, Mexico, $40.6 million, Italy, $35.7 million, and Spain, $33.3 million. Of course, obviously, James's previous Avatar: The Way of Water, as expected, has exceeded $1.5 billion globally, with Wednesday's figure included. The running total through yesterday is $1,516.5 million, meaning that it has overtaken Top Gun Maverick as the number one worldwide release of 2022. What's more, it is now the number 10 biggest movie ever globally. The 20th Century Studios Disney sci-fi epic has also, in the past day, crossed Furious 7 worldwide. Furious 7 worldwide. Today, it will pass the Avengers to claim the number 9 spot on the all-time global chart. Internationally, it is the number 9 biggest movie ever, and in Europe is the highest grosser of the Slandemic era, having passed Spider-Man No Way Home. It is also the number 5 release of all time for the region. Midweeks continue to be strong for the Navi, with Wednesday adding $26.4 million from 52 overseas markets. Not included in totals above, Korea is at an estimated $79.6 million through Thursday, and China at an estimated $173 million, with my own upping its final projections to RMB $1.5 billion, which is $218 million in the market. Wow. Of course, obviously, the top 5 offshore markets to date through Wednesday are China, $168.6 million, France, $96.1 million, Korea, $78.2 million, Germany, $76.5 million, and the UK, $60.9 million. Yes. Wow. Oh, man. Okay, previous Wednesday, James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water has now officially, and as projected, crossed the $1 billion mark at the international box office, with Tuesday's grosses included. What's more, for the 20th Century Studios Disney juggernaut at 1 million. Hold on a second. $1,482.5 million worldwide through Tuesday. The epic sci-fi sequel is next on its way to yet another milestone and will top $1.5 billion global when today's numbers are factored in doing so. It will become the number 1 worldwide release of 2022, surpassing Top Gun Maverick's $1.489 billion. Wow. The overseas QMA through Tuesday is $1.025 billion at after adding $28.3 million in 52 international markets yesterday. Um, while is the number one offshore release of 2022 and number two of the Slandemic era, it stands as the number nine international release of all time, moving up from number 11, having just passed The Fate of the Furious and Jurassic World after 21 days in movie theaters. Globally, it is the number 12 biggest release ever, now overtaking Disney's own Frozen 2. Following the holiday period, and while some offshore markets still have local holidays, midweeks continue to be strong, and there is plenty of runway ahead. Not included in the totals above, China's Wednesday brought in an estimated $3 million for a local running QMA of $170 million. My Onion is projecting a $215 million final. Similarly, not included above, Korea reached $78.8 million through today. Through Tuesday, the top 10 overseas markets are China, $165.5 million, France, $95 million, Korea, $77.2 million, Germany, $73.4 million, UK, $59.5 million, India, $51.4 million, Mexico, $39.1 million, Australia, $37.9 million, Italy, $33.8 million, and Spain, $38.5 million. Okay. Okay. All right, let's take a look if because Megan just came out, right? So we I'm gonna get to that right there. Let me get to that shit. So is Avatar the Way of Water still number one over Megan? Okay, let's take a look at this. That's a surprise. Oh, wow. Wow. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Wait. Is this true? Am I reading this right? Hold on. Hold on. Am I reading this right? Hold on. Let me just take a look at this. This is from the 8th. Actually. No, this is from the 8th of last week. This week, damn. Unfucking believable, man. I did not know that. Oh my gosh. So, unfortunately, Avatar 2 is no longer number one in the box office. Unfortunately, Megan, the PG-13 movie, took over. Okay, according to Screen Rant. So let's get into it right here. All right, so although Megan will take wait. Although Megan will take number two behind Avatar. Hold on. Let me just read this. Hold on. Yeah, yeah, I am reading this right though, man. Wait a minute. So, according to Screen Rants, Avatar: The Way of Water has been knocked from its #1 daily domestic box office perch for the first time thanks to the killer doll flick Megan. Coming 13 years after the original 2009 film, Avatar: The Way of Water reunites director James Cameron with stars Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and Sigourney Weaver, among others. Since its theatrical debut on December 16th, 2022, the Avatar sequel has already grossed over $1.5 billion total, becoming the highest grossing film to be released in 2022, though Top Gun Maverick is still the film that made the most of the domestic box office during the 2022 calendar year. Per Collider, Avatar: The Way of Water is facing some competition. However, as the promising box office run of Megan just earned another feather to put in its cap. Although Avatar: The Way of Water will still be claiming the #1 spot for the weekend as a whole, with a total gross of about $10 million ahead of Megan's 3-day projections. So yes, Avatar is the sequel is still #1. Oh wow. Yes, it is. Let's see. Um, yeah, although yeah, so although Avatar: The Way of Water will still be claiming the #1 spot for the weekend as a whole with a total gross of about $10 million ahead of Megan's 3-day projections. Megan's Friday opening box office was a whopping $11.7 million. This allowed it to pull ahead of Avatar: The Way of Water's gross of $11.4 million that same day, its fourth Friday in theaters. This makes Friday the first day since its release that any film other than Avatar: The Way of Water has taken the #1 spot for even a single day. Um, So far, Megan is turning in outstanding box office results this weekend. The film, which stars Get Out's Allison Williams and comes from the Malignant team of producer James Wan and screenwriter Akila Cooper, posted a stronger opening weekend than the #1 2022 horror hit Smile. It also made back its $12 million budget and then some in just a single weekend. There are likely quite a few reasons for the film's success. First, the film seems to be bridging the gap between critics and audiences with a certified fresh Rotten Tomatoes score of 94%. The best for a Blumhouse horror since the Oscar-nominated Get Out. That shows most viewers agreeing that whether the film is to their taste, it's a fun time at the movies. There was also a huge viral moment from the Megan trailer featuring the titular killer doll dancing with a sharp weapon that inspired many a meme, including a TikTok dance challenge. Oh, jeez. Um, However, even though Megan has knocked Avatar: The Way of Water down a peg, this doesn't mean that the smash hit movie is losing steam anytime soon. The film has already become the ninth highest grossing film of all time and is likely to climb even higher on the chart before its run is over, except for the next weekend's premieres of Plane and the House Party reboot. January looks to be a rather dry month for wide releases, so the two films will likely continue to swap places at #1 for some time. Although early February also sees the release of Knock at the Cabin and Magic Mike's Last Dance, the next movie that will put up a huge fight and almost definitely batter the Cameron film down to number two for good, is the Marvel release Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Quantumania, which isn't coming out until February 17th. That's a couple of weeks. So yeah. And let's see. And let me see. Let me see. So let's see. Megan is the latest in a long line of horror comedies that continue a promising trend for the genre. Megan is directed by Gerard Johnstone from a script from Akilah Cooper. The story was conceived of by Cooper alongside horror veteran James Wan and tells the tale of Megan, an artificially intelligent doll who becomes attached to her creator's orphan niece, becoming hostile to anyone that comes between her and her newfound family. As with most horror films of recent years, Megan was produced by Blumhouse Productions. The film's initial trailers and usually unpromising January release caused many to believe that Megan would not be the best film in terms of quality. However, initial reactions and reviews for the film proved that Megan is only continuing a very promising trend in recent years for horror movies. And Megan is currently receiving highly positive reviews with hold on. Yes, highly positive reviews with the film sitting at a 95% Rotten Tomatoes score after 100 reviews. The critical consensus for the films reads unapologetically silly and all the more entertaining for it. Megan is the rare horror comedy that delivers chuckles as effortlessly as chills. This consensus exemplifies the recent horror trend that the film is continuing a focus on horror comedy. The horror genre continues to lean on an often campy mix of silly horror and disturbing horror, something that is proving successful time and time again. Other recent properties that have seen widespread popularity because of this include Scream 5, Bodies, the recent HBO Max release, The Menu, and Netflix's Wednesday, which recently broke Stranger Things viewing record. Each of these properties, alongside the horror movie Megan, has delved into a mix of dark comedy and chilling horror filled thrills. All these films and TV series exemplified by Megan's reaction prove that horror comedy is the defining effective style of horror in recent years. Um, this is crazy. While pure horror movies are still often received well, such as the likes of Hellbender, The Innocents, X, and Barbarian in 2022, there is no denying that horror comedies tend to break into the mainstream and appeal to general audiences more consistently. One of the main reasons for this is the levity that comedy aspects bring to horror films. Pure horror often tends to leave viewers highly affected after the credits roll and linger with audiences long after. With the likes of the horror movie Megan, however, audiences react well to the campy, even goofy humor that can bring levity to the darker moments without the focus on the deep, disturbing horror that directors like Ari Aster bring to their films. Horror comedies like Megan can be much more easygoing while still providing a sense of fear that make horror so appealing. With similar movies such as Scream 6 and Cocaine Bear coming in the first few months of 2023, which by the way is coming out next month in February. I'll get the date next time in the future episode. It seems as though the campy humor of recent horror thrillers will not be stopping with Megan. Well, I don't know about all that though, man. I don't know if Megan is going to be. I don't know if it'll last at the number one spot for a long time. Cause like I said, you got House Party, the reboot, the rated R movie that's coming out next week, along with the other movie that's also coming out. So I got you covered with that next week. Let's see. Let's see. Now we're gonna get into some stuff. Jan's Art NYC. I've been meaning to talk about this too. So this is some fun stuff to do for the weekend. So we're gonna get into it right about now. Um, all right, so here we go. Um, all right, so this is oh damn. Okay, so the mayor's office of media and entertainment is pleased to present the complete schedule of events for Jan Arts NYC, and it's already started beginning on the day of my birthday, which is January 4th, 2023. The annual series of top-notch public performances and cutting-edge industry gatherings will return to a live format at various NYC venues throughout the month of January. Well, let me see how much time we got. All right. We are finally back in person and thrilled to present our 10th anniversary prototype festival together with Jan Arts NYC. This year features 3 postponed productions from our 2022 lineup and groundbreaking new work that is not to be missed. Mark your calendars, and this is from January 5th to the 15th, 2023, said prototype founding directors Kirsten Martin and Beth Morrison. Since 2010, Gen Arts NYC has worked to establish January as Performing Arts Month in New York City, where the top performers from across the globe gather each year to present the most recent works in theater, dance, opera, music, and performance. Jan Arts NYC offers industry representatives, New Yorkers, and visitors the ultimate collection of performing arts experiences throughout the month of January. What better place for this global congregation of talent, discussion, and um, resources than NYC? By more, no, excuse me, the creative capital of the world, says Andel Castillo. More than 45,000 leaders, artists, and fans of the performing arts from around the world are welcome back to NYC by MOM to take part uh take part in and enjoy the following events. The public theaters under the radar festival. Hold on a second. Yes, the Public Theater's Under the Radar Festival, which runs from January 4th to the 22nd, is including a complex era about the Earth and its surroundings, including the social internet storms and of independent theaters, theater creators who over the past 3 years have faced enormous difficulties and setbacks. Will feature 36 performers from 9 nations over the course of 19 days at 6 venues. Another event is the Chamber Music America is running from January the 5th to the 8th, that is dedicated to those working as professionals in the field of small ensemble music and so much more. And of course, if you like more information, for more information, visit JansArtsNYC.org. Use the hashtag JanArtsNYC to join the discussion on social media. Okay. What else we got? Oh yes. Yes. All right, so we got some all right, we got some fun stuff to talk about here. Fun stuff to do for the weekend. Oh wait, I forgot to talk about Scream 6. I forgot to talk about Scream 6. Um yeah, let's talk Scream 6. Let's talk Scream 6. Oh wow. So the first teaser for Scream 6 debuts revealing the first glimpse at the next chapter in the story of surviving characters from Scream 2022, which is Scream 5, of course. The official trailer for Scream 6 has been released. The film, which is now officially titled Scream 6, is the direct sequel to Scream 5 of 2022, a meta slasher requel that combined legacy cast members with a new crop of young survivors, including Jenna Ortega as Tara, um, Tara Carpenter, Melissa Barrera as Sam Carpenter, Jasmine Savoy Brown as Mindy Meeks Martin, and Mason Gooding as Chad Meeks Martin. Other cast members that will be returning in the sixth film include um, Courtney, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers and Hayden Panettiere as her Scream 4 breakout character Kirby Reed, though consummate final girl Nerve Campbell will not be returning as Sydney Prescott, as the actress has reported she was offered too little compensation for her appearance. Of course, today Paramount unveiled the first official teaser for Scream 6 online after it debuted theatrically in front of Damien Chazelle's Hollywood epic Babylon. I forgot about Babylon that came out. Oh boy. Um the teaser highlights the film's New York City setting by showing off one major scene set in a subway car. It's Halloween night, and nearly everyone in the crowded car is dressed in costume, including several who are dressed as Ghostface. As Sam looks on, one Ghostface in particular seems to have its eye on her and all that other stuff. So there you have it right there. You can check out the trailer actually. Um so one major thing that this teaser reveals about this film is that it takes place during the Halloween season, which will majorly complicate the survival efforts of the returning characters. Ghostface has made a habit of hiding in plain sight among other costume people, including the Stab movie, premiered in Scream 2, Hollywood Costume Warehouse in Scream 3, and a stab movie marathon in Scream 4. This film's new killer or killers may even do the unthinkable and at some point don a mask that isn't Ghostface in order to blend into the crowd of revelers even better. There are only 5 characters revealed in this teaser, not including either of the confirmed legacy characters who will be returning. This does include Tara, Sam, Mason, and Mindy, as well as a new, still largely unknown character named David, played by the other two, and She-Hulk star Josh Segarra. Given Sam's understated but suspicious reaction to spotting Ghostface, this scene most likely takes place early in the film before the group knows that they are being specifically targeted by a new Ghostface killer. While the teaser doesn't contain much dialogue or any plot-heavy moments, it does show that the survivors are traveling together. Whether this means that they remain a tight-knit group or not is unknown, as it may be possible that the events of Scream 6 kick off with them reuniting after being separate for some time in an attempt to handle their trauma on their own. However, what is true is that none of them are safe, as Barrera has previously teased that the Scream sequel's gore quotient is upping the ante this time around. All right, let's see. What else. Oh yes, things to do for the weekend. I'm gonna get to that right there. Okay, things to do for the weekend. Hold on. Things to do for the weekend. Things to do for the weekend. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute here. Okay, things to do for the weekend coming up. And this is for January 13th to the 15th. Okay, so things to do for the weekend. It's not things to do for the weekend. I'm not going to have time to get to California. I'll try to get back to that hopefully in a future episode or two next week. So starting with Friday the 13th, Crystal Lake fifth anniversary celebration. In honor of the Williamsburg Hotspot's 5th anniversary, Crystal Lake is hosting a Carrie-themed prom party this Friday, the 13th. Those who swing by can expect dancing all night long, some killer prom decor, and themed cocktails and specials from Misguided Spirits and Jim Beam. Though costumes aren't required, they are highly encouraged. And it's located and Crystal Lake 5th anniversary celebration is located at 647 Grand Street, Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Party starts at 8 p.m. and is free. Screening for Blade 2. Nothing hits quite like a movie on a Friday. The Museum of Modern Art is hosting a screening of the popular Guillermo del Toro film Blade 2. Watch as Wesley Snipes teams up with a squad of vampire commandos and hunt a new strand of the blood-sucking monsters. Museum of Modern Art is located at 11 West 53rd Street, Midtown Manhattan. The screening starts at 1 p.m. Tickets starts at 12 p.m. No, ticket starts at $12 for adults, $10 for seniors, $8 for students, and free for children and members. Um, Tangible Nature Gallery Show opening this weekend at the Jamaica Bay Wildlife Refuge. Tangible Nature is a new photography exhibit by photographer Dean Moses. The exhibit highlights photographs taken around the Jamaica Bay area and will be on display for the next 2 months. And Tangible Nature Gallery Show is located at 175-10 Cross Bay Boulevard in Queens, New York. And it starts from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays for free. Saturday, January 14th, NYRR Open Run Canarsie Park. Kickstart your morning with a nice run through Canarsie Park, hosted by the New York Roadrunners. Yeah, the New York Roadrunners, runners and walkers of all ages and skill levels are welcome to join in this outing. Meet at Seaview Avenue and Remsen Avenue at 9 a.m. for free. Central Park Winter Tree Walk. There's one section of Central Park that stays green all year round, the Pine Tum. Take a walking tour of the area with the Central Park Conservancy on Saturday afternoon. Learn about the 17 species of trees that grow in the 4-acre arboretum while also learning about the history of the space in the park. The tour starts at 2 p.m. The tickets are $25 with 20% off for um, conservancy members. Meet at the Pine Tum located northwest of the Green Lawn. Um okay, so let's see. This is read to a therapy dog. While a dog can't read for themselves, they sure make great listeners. Kids can take a few minutes and read to some licensed therapy dogs on Saturday morning at Webster Library for ages 5 through 12. Must register in person at the library, and it's located at 1465 York Avenue, Upper East Side, 10:30 a.m. It's free. Yeah, it's free. I'm sorry. Movies at the library. Pinocchio on Saturday morning. Brooklyn Public Library's Brownsville branch is hosting a screening of the remake of the popular film Pinocchio. This new live action film tells the story of the wooden puppet's journey for adventure and longing to be a real boy after being brought to life by the Blue Fairy. And it's located at 61 Glenmore Avenue at Watkins Street, Brownsville, Brooklyn, from 11 a.m. free. And finally, January 15th, Sunday, January 15th, Jackknife Comedy. Every third Sunday of the month, New Yorkers can head over to QED Astoria for Jackknife Comedy, hosted by Gideon Hambright and Patrick Hasty. The two pick out their favorite comedians to host a set for the night. 27-16 Avenue, Astoria, Queens, New York. 7 p.m. is the start time. Ticket starts at $5. Immersive theatrical cocktail experience. Shawshank Shawshank D is the city's newest interactive cocktail experience that is unlike anything you've done before. Those who come are transported back to a movie plot in a 1940s cell block. In your ticket, you get a 90-minute show where you interact with cast members and two complimentary cocktails. And it is located at 58 E East 34th Street, Midtown Manhattan, New York. The show starts at 4 p.m. The tickets start at $59.15. That's $59.15. All right. Hang on a second. There's an eat and drink thing that I wanted to go over actually. There's an eat and drink thing that I wanted to go over actually. Hang on a second here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, we're going to get into munchies and drinks before we go to stream choices on the go. All right, some stream choices. No, not stream choices, but places to eat and drink. This is the stories in regards to some places that's going to be there. Um, Let me just make sure. Oh, here, here's one. Did I do this one? Of course, with 2023 around the corner, New York City is gearing up for another year of parades, events, and celebrations. Throughout the year, New York City is bustling with events that you won't want to miss. Here are a few dates, events, and milestones to keep an eye on, to keep an eye out for in 2023. So, starting January the 17th through February the 12th of this year is NYC Restaurant Week. Restaurant Week is a staple of New York City's food scene, and the first one of the year is kicking off in January. Over the course of those weeks, restaurants across the city will offer menus at a special price for lunch and or dinner, encouraging New Yorkers to try something new. February 12th, 2023, Lunar New Year celebration parade. This year, Lunar New Year is celebrating the year of the rabbit. The parade will be back dragon dancing, martial art performances, and so much more, not to mention all sorts of delicious food to indulge in. February 26, 2023, 30th anniversary of World Trade Center bombing. Oh boy. Not not exactly. Not exactly. On February 26, 1993, a van bomb detonated at the World Trade Center's North Tower complex. The attack claimed the lives of 6 people and is recognized as the Diplomatic Security Service first indication that terrorism is a transnational phenomenon. And of course, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. March 30th, New York Yankees home opener. Um, yes, Major League Baseball's opening day for the season officially kicks off on March 30th. And this year, the Yankees are having their opening day game at home. Watch as the Yankees take on the San Francisco Giants. 2023 is a big year for the Yankees. April 18th is the 100th anniversary of the opening of the original Yankee Stadium, and October 12th through 15th is the 100th anniversary of the team's first World Series win. Um, April 6th, New York Mets home opener. Though the Mets season officially starts on March 30th, the team's home opener will take place on April 6th at Citi Field. Come by and watch as the Mets take on the Miami Marlins. This year also marks the Mets' 50th anniversary of their run to the 1973 National League pennant. National League pennant, bringing inspiration through Tug McGraw's famous slogan. Tug McGraw's famous slogan, "You gotta believe." I believe they meant to say Tim McGraw's. Well, I don't know. Tug McGraw, Tim McGraw. I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, Tug McGraw's. Yeah, no, that's Tim McCarver. I'm sorry. He retired. Anyway, May 29th, Memorial Day, obviously, and June 9th, 50th anniversary of Secretariat winning Belmont Stakes. And I'm not even gonna. I don't even care for this holiday, Juneteenth. I don't care for it. Um, June 25th, NYC Pride March. June 27th, last day of school. July 4th, Macy's 4th of July fireworks show. Yeah, that one I probably care for. August 14th, 20th anniversary of the Northeast Blackout. September 8th, first day of school. September 11th, anniversary of September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. October 12th to the 15th, New York Comic Con. New York Comic Con. Yes. And October 31st, 50th annual Village 50th annual Village Halloween Parade. November 5th, New York City Marathon. November 7th, Election Day. November 23rd, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And of course, December 31st, New Year's Eve in Times Square. Now the Christmas joint, you're gonna have to wait till later on this year. Let me see. All right. Now, let me see. Let me see. I was gonna get to some other stories and eat and drink, but I could save that for another time, though, man. I could save that for another time.
Um, actually, 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 I'm already here. Anyway, 2:30. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be the last subject, and I'll just. All right. So, a chilly lounge experience is opening up in Brooklyn to embrace the winter season. For the second year in a row, Harriet's Rooftop at One Hotel Brooklyn Bridge is hosting its Polar Lounge installation. The lounge is located at 60 Furman Street. Officially opens to the public on January the 12th, which is today, with a one of a kind. No, which was yesterday. Sorry. Um, yeah, today's Friday the 13th. January 12th was yesterday, so it's still recent. So with a one of a kind experience for a night out. The rooftop lounge features a glacial landscape of custom seating that overlooks the New York City skyline, as well as sculptures look that like the seating are carved entirely from crystal clear ice. To keep guests warm, the Polar Lounge is teaming up with Moose Knuckles, a luxury outerwear brand, to provide sustainably sourced parkers for guests to wear. Um, yeah, after experience the Polar Lounge, guests can warm up in Harriet's Lodge, a retro ski theme area within One Hotel's Harriet's Lodge. No, excuse me, lounge. Decked out with furry blankets, dim candles, greenery, and wooden details, Harriet's Lodge provides a cozy atmosphere to warm up while still enjoying the New York City skyline. Those who use the lodge can enjoy seasonal cocktails and chef curated snacks. Obviously, let's see. General admissions for the lounge starts at $50 per person for a 1 hour time slot, with general admissions granting guests access to the rooftop and includes a complimentary drink upon entry, courtesy of Proximo Tequila. VIP table options are available and can sit 6 people in one of the premium ice lounges. VIP bookings include a complimentary cocktail for each guest, courtesy of Proximo Tequila, as well as a caviar amuse bouche, sustainably sourced from Pearl Street Caviar. A percentage of sales from the Polar Lounge will go to support the nonprofit Oceanic Global, which works to educate and protect the Earth's oceans and polar regions. The Polar Lounge will be open from January 12th through February 26th and will operate from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thursdays through Saturdays. You must be 21 years or older to make a reservation, which can be made at the website um, Reese.com. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go into our last segment on the night right here, man. And this is pertaining to strange choices on the go. Let's do this. Y'all know what to do. Um, you like what you heard in today's episode or any previous episodes, especially the topics that's being discussed, you can also um let me just straighten this thing here. Yes, you can also show some love by following Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York podcast on Facebook, alongside with Instagram, alongside with my other two podcast shows that I do on a weekly basis, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports edition show that I do, and of course the review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. And also follow me on the gram as well on my primary handle, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Turn on your notifications so you can see me in action on Instagram Live, and of course when each episode is going to be dropping. All right, so there you have it right there. And I'm going to get into where you can listen to the episodes as you go to the link in bio where it says Linktree / G Money Stacks 555. All right. We're gonna get in. Yeah, we're gonna get into that right now. So you can leave a voice message on Anchor FM / G Money Stacks / message on any questions for me about anything. Um, and if you have any topics or whatever you want me to discuss or whatever, and if you'd like to actually tell me how you feel about the topics, how you felt about them or whatever, you can feel free to do that. All right, so yes, so make sure you subscribe to the audio streaming platforms that I am about to mention to you right here, folks. So starting with Anchor, Audacity, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbay, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and iHeartRadio, the #1 app for music, radio, and podcasts. You don't need a credit card to download iHeartRadio and all the other apps that I just mentioned. And of course, make sure you follow this show right here alongside with my other two shows that's also on iHeartRadio as well, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the Sports Edition show, and of course Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show that's also on there as well. And of course, don't forget and make sure you grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555, which is my YouTube channel page. And do the same with my other YouTube channel, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast and Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast, the sports channel on YouTube. Make sure you do the same for that right there. So grab the subscribe button for me. Click on the noni bell so you'll be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, alongside with leaving a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics. Make sure you stay tuned for more video. Make sure you stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes, and of course, be sure to, hope I'm not forgetting this, be sure to tell a friend to another friend. Spread the word, and be sure to share the videos, share the episodes, download these episodes. Make sure you listen, stream, and watch these episodes. In case you miss any of them, don't worry. Everything's all uploaded to the YouTube channel page and streaming platforms as well. And of course, be sure to share the podcast along with the link that says linktree/GMoneyStacks555 with all the audio streaming platforms, including YouTube. That's also included. Make sure you share it with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, the people you're cool with from work, and everywhere else where you meet new people. All right. So, all right. So that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man, G Money Stacks. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me on episode 225. Calling Cap, which is basically talking about JD, of course. And be sure to be sure to um be sure to follow your goals and dreams, and remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. And of course, New York wasn't built in a day. And be sure to find and look for something that makes you smile, that you love to do. Find your voice, be you, be yourself. And of course, be on your P's and Q's consistently, on a consistency basis with your craft that gets you into your zone creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Of course, do something that makes you smile. And that's going to do it for me. I'm off this shit. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me. I'll be back next time in episode 226. Hopefully, depending on how much energy I have on Saturday, I will try my best to actually record on Saturday. So I need to get my rhythm back. So hope y'all have a nice weekend. Enjoy. Be careful out there. Peace and one love. And of course, have yourselves a good night, folks.